Next up at UFC Paris, we have the co-main event of the evening. We have Manon Fiorot taking on an angry 12-year-old boy. Manon Fiorot, 10-1 overall, 5-0 in her last 5, riding a 10-fight win streak. We have Rose Namajunas mean mugging in her 11-5 career, 3-2 in her last 5, coming off the uneventful title loss to Carla Esparza. This is... I am interested to see.
Fucking say it.
I am interested to see what happens with this fight.
Say it.
I think it's an important fight. I'll get to my pick in a second. I think it's an important fight, but I'm very much on one side here.
How the fuck does Rose win this fight? I'll say it.
Well, all right. So let me just break it down very quickly. I won't read my script here. Manon Fiorot is big. She hits hard as hell. We know she can wrestle. We know like she's good everywhere. She's powerful, technical striking, and can wrestle. She just beat Caitlin Chikagian. She actually did not look great against Caitlin Chikagian, but Caitlin has that ability to make... Yeah, Caitlin has the ability to make everybody look like shit. She just can do that.
She is my least favorite fighter in the world because of her ability to make everyone fight at her level, which is not a very good level. And literally, no matter who fights Caitlin, it's always a close fight. It always makes it look like she's big. I mean, it drives me insane. I was so glad that Manon beat her because I was so tired of her bullshit.
Well, and she beat her with... she got that takedown late, and that pretty much locked it in and clinched that win. And that's what I do like about Manon. She's not just a striker. She can wrestle. And she is big. Rose Namajunas, former champion. She beat Wei Li twice. One of them knocked her out, like undisputed beat her. The second fight, I think Wei Li won that fight. I would have scored it for her if I was a judge. But the reality is the fact that if it was even that close, look at the beating Wei Li just put on Tyler on what's her name? Just beat the absolute piss out of that woman. And Rose Namajunas beat that person. So it is hard to deny that Rose Namajunas is good because she is good. She won the belt twice. She had the belt, lost it because she was spiked on her head, then came back, won the belt, defended the belt, and now she just lost it in the worst fight that anybody has ever seen. Rose is a decent striker. She's got good, solid striking. She managed to put together some power. Pretty well-rounded, pretty busy, and decent everywhere. But she is coming up in weight. She's fighting somebody who hits insanely hard. And Rose has looked horrible in her last couple of competitions. She just fought a grappling match against Jillian Robertson. She just got pushed around and like it was bad. Like she looked terrible.
She looked sloppy.
She looked sloppy. She didn't compete well at all. And Jillian Robertson, I know you guys love her, should not be beating the world champion that easily. Like insanely easily. And then you have
do they get paid for that?
They get paid for those.
How much do you think they make for that? 10 grand or something?
Couple grand, less than that probably. Yeah, less than that. And then Rose fought Carla Esparza, where it's actually hard to fault Rose for that because Rose is patient and she will wait for openings. And Carla didn't really give her an opening. They're both just staring at each other. So I'm not going to blame Rose entirely for that loss, but it was a shitty loss. It was boring. And now she's coming up in weight to fight somebody who hits as hard as Manon, who can work in wrestling like Manon, who's going to have better footwork, and only 3 rounds. I like Manon Fiorot. I think it's Manon all the way. And what's interesting about this line is it opened at 175. She went up to like minus 220-ish, and now she's come back down to minus 175. So it is interesting to see. I think people don't know what to do because they're like, shit, man, Rose was the champ, is the champ. She's not old. She's not getting knocked out, but she might look really bad in this fight. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Yeah, like I said earlier, I just don't know what Rose does to her in this fight. I don't think that she can get to her. One of Rose's biggest advantages at 115 was her length, was the style of her striking. She was very long at 115 and was able to find people with that length. That head kick, I mean, that was a fully extended head kick with those really long legs snapping out Wei Li. That head kick's not coming anywhere close to Manon. Manon's just too big. She's going to be too physical. I believe that Manon is basically just a bigger version of Rose. I mean, I think she's a little bit more powerful. She's not going to be as fast, but she fights that rangy fight, and Rose isn't going to be able to get to her. I have no idea why Rose. She was never. I mean, it's not like we were watching Rose at 115, being like, "Oh man, she cuts a lot. She's huge at 115." She was just a normal 115 girl, just tall, but a normal 115 girl coming up to 125. I don't know what she does. Some people are saying in the Discord, like, "Oh, she's gonna wrestle her. She's gonna wrestle her. She can just come in and just wrestle Manon." It's like, no, the fuck she can't. Manon's been taken down once in her career by Jennifer Maia. Jennifer Maia is a big, thick girl. Do you know who Manon has taken down? Victoria Leonardo. Tabitha Ricci, finished them both. Myro Bueno Silva, Jennifer Maia, Caitlin Chugate. She's taken every single person down. Everyone loves Tabitha Ricci, and I know that was Ricci's UFC debut, short notice. She's a 115er, fought at 125, but she fucking smoked Tabitha Ricci. I mean,
this is a 115er fighting at 125.
Right. I mean, yes, same time, but I mean, Rose is a much better striker than Tabitha Ricci. But I just don't. When I watch this fight, and I watch them fight, and when Manon Fiorot fights, I think this is probably being a decision fight. I don't think she's going to smoke Rose and finish Rose. I don't know. Manon Fiorot is not a girl that will just kind of dance around in the co-main event spot in front of her home fucking fans. This is a tough girl. This is a badass girl. She's going to get in Rose's face. It's probably going to be a decision fight. And Manon Fiorot is going to have, unless Rose lands some wild shot, which is such a Hail Mary, I think Manon's just going to control every single round with the side kicks, get in her face, in the clinch, be physical, and just win a pretty easy decision here. I mean, I don't see her losing. I don't see her getting finished by Rose. And I definitely don't see her losing a decision in front of her home fans. She's just not built like that. She's not one of those girls that's just going to dance around because she's scared to do this and that. If she knows she's losing, she's going to get in Rose's face and she's going to let her know about it. And I think she can just dominate this fight. I just think she's a better version of Rose. This is like one of those situations of Ian Gary talks about the new age MMA fighter. Ian Gary's kind of that. I think Manon's one of those for the females. Just so well-rounded and physical too.
No, listen, and I don't want to take too much away from Rose because not only was she the champion, it wasn't a fluke. She was the champion, lost her belt, and then earned it back, which is a very, very, very hard thing to do in this sport. Almost never do you see somebody, and she didn't earn it back with like an immediate rematch, and I mean, I guess she did, but she then continued to defend the belt, continued to fight. You could argue she was one of the most accomplished champions at that weight class. It's actually... her accomplishments are actually incredible. I just think this recent skid is bad. Like that fight to lose the belt was bad. That grappling match was bad. She took a year off. She has always been very vocal about she hates fighting, hates the mental aspect of it. She literally shaves her head because she was like, I don't want people to talk about that. I'm pretty. Like all of these things. I just think the pressure of being champion was a lot. I think there's a lot of people in her ear, a lot of stuff going on. And maybe now that she's not champ, she's free of all of that.
Oh, that's what Usman said. I'm glad. Yeah. I'm actually glad I got knocked out because I could fuck with a fucking idiot.
Well, and frankly, if Rose looked better in that grappling match, then maybe that is the case. But she looked terrible physically and skill-wise. So I got to go Manon. She is the other half of that parlay. I parlayed her with Anja Lusa. Lusa. So I'm on that side. But honestly, if Rose came out here and looked phenomenal, she's the former champ. Yes, it's not this weight class. She's coming up in weight. Somebody had a good point. Well, what about where is it?
Somebody mentioned that they're the same. That they're the same.
Andrade?
They're the same height. I have no doubt that they might be the same height.
Yeah, who
but
cares?
There's no difference in size. I mean, Manon is a thicker girl. You're going to tell that they're different sizes.
No, 100%. And
like me and you are the same height, but you're much thicker.
Sure. Sean K said, what about Grasso and Andrade's success at 125? And that's a valid point, except Grasso, frankly, was about to lose that fight, and she pulled that off. She got it done. Good for her. But Grasso's a different style than Rose. Grasso is going to implement her game plan, stick and move, stay busy, get in your face, and move around, not just wait. And then Andrade, she only has success when she can bully. If she can't bully, she's got zero success. So she's not the barometer from. She can move up to 145, and if she can push you around, she'll have success. Doesn't mean she's a good fighter. So we're both on the Manon side. You got bets on Manon Fiorot?
Yeah, she's my most heavily bet person. Personally, I'll tell you right now. I have upwards of close to $1,000 on Manon Fiorot personally. So,
yikes. If you want to unlock all of those bets, actually, some of those you keep to yourself. You don't put on premium, right? Because you're like,
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I said personally. Yeah, for premium, I keep everything nice and even keel for premium. I still have a pretty good amount on premium, but personally, I have much more.
Well, if you want to check out those bets and much, much more, WeWantPicks.com, become a premium member. Click the button at the top. $8,900 for Manon, $7,300 for Rose. I'll have to look at it a little closer. I do think Manon scores well, especially if she works in some wrestling. I don't know if she'll finish Rose. Rose is really tough. Obviously, she was finished in that grappling match, but some people just don't take those things serious. They don't care. It's a who cares? It's a grappling match. You could lose, no big deal, blah, blah, blah. So, being finished in that, I don't think is necessarily indicative of the fact that she'll get finished in this. But I do think Manon is going to win this fight, have success, and could potentially score really well in DraftKings.
Yeah, she's kind of a bad bitch. Manon
Who?
is. Manon is. Yeah,
Manon Fiorot?
She's I like her.
Okay.